Hey, everybody, welcome to your horoscopes for this week. These are the horoscopes for the week ending May 21st. Still in a Mercury retrograde this week, so that's definitely going to shake things up. Let's figure out how and get right to it. And we're going to start with Aries. Still have Venus in Aries, Pluto in Aries. So, we're very much sort of continuing to focus on travel and continuing to focus on education or moving forward some sort of growth in some way. But we're also starting to pay attention to and think about finances as well. You I went stupid. You know, I mean, that's you get all caught up in the planning of and the excitement of and the new prospects of your goals and what you're moving towards, and then all of a sudden you look at your finances, and that's almost always the point where things kind of come to a halt and you go, you know what, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to afford this, or this is going to happen, or what if this happens? And wah, 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 wah. Jupiter's influence is on your finances, and Jupiter's influence on your finances is amazing because Jupiter's all about growth and expansion. And hey, let's make more money. Now, the world as we know it looks bleak. It looks like we're not going to be able to afford anything. All the prices are going up. Yes, the money that we're making is kind of sort of going up, but not as quickly as the price is going up. And that makes it look like, oh my God, we're not going to be able to afford anything. No one's going to be able to blah, blah, blah. And we get in this mindset of all of these things. You got to stop yourself. The truth of the matter is that as long as you're taking care of what you need, as long as you're putting away for a rainy day, and you can put whatever is left over into moving forward in your goals. Is it going to be hard? Of course it's hard. Everything is hard, but not doing anything, continuing to deny yourself this pleasure or this thing that is pulling you and that you need, that's not doing you any good either. So you really have to think about it like that. It's time to be brave. It's time to do what needs to be done. And that is all there is to it. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that resonates. Moving on to Taurus, the sun is here for one more week only, and then he moves on. Actually, he moves on Saturday, so literally at the end of the week, but still in that grand sextile with Venus and Pluto. This grand sextile has been with you throughout most of the month, which is really good because this is a very positive aspect, pulling a lot of different parts of your life together to work together in harmony. And we always love it when things work together in harmony, right? So in terms of what we're looking at here, we're still very much focused on career and moving forward in your career. Pluto helps influence your schedule to be able to make time for specifically what you need to do for you to move forward in these career goals. Even a little bit of extra time. I know that's really hard in some schedules to find is extra time, but sometimes extra time just pops up. You never know. Something cancels, that isn't as important, leaving that space open. It happens. It actually happens all the time. And then Venus is very much focused on long-term goals. What are your long-term goals? So we're talking specifically our career long-term goals here. Um, Taurus, most Tauruses that I know, when they are very career driven, it's really important that they succeed and keep moving forward. And I know a lot of badass Taurus babes that are just out there killing it right now. And this influence is perfect for you guys. Just don't burn yourselves out, okay? Don't burn yourselves out. I know a lady, or I've known of a lady, I should say. She was a Taurus. She was sick all the time. She was go, 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 go. And then she'd get sick for like 2 or 3 weeks. That's the universe telling you you are going too far and you need to slow the F down. Okay. You know what I mean? Take time for you. Self care is important. You can't do this if you don't take care of you first. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that resonates, and good luck kicking it, guys. Gemini, I hope you have plans to party hardy this weekend because it's Gemini time. At least it is on Saturday. And also, Mercury's retrograde self moves out of Gemini on Saturday. So you get the sun coming in, Mercury moving out. They're high fiving each other as they go. And Gemini, duh. And Mercury and the sun are still in that grand sextile with Pluto and Venus, creating a lot of really fantastic energy for you guys to move forward in your career goals specifically. And I do see an influence of support coming there too. You have ample support to help, you know, to help walk you, to help move you, to help push you to those goals, depending on what it is that you need in the moment. You got to have some, Gemini's got to have some tough friends. Gemini's got to have friends that come up and go, you know what? I love you and I'm going to do this for you, and just to push them off the cliff into whatever it is that they need to do. Not to kill them, okay, but to help them. You know what I mean? Because that's what they need to do to fly. See, want to make that clear. Not a big fan of pushing people off cliffs to their deaths. This is not about that. This is about having the power and having the courage to really move forward, to really focus your mind on that one thing instead of all the different things that you have going on. If you can do that, Venus's creative influence is going to come in and help you really kind of sort of shine some light on the direction that you need to go. And this is really important because, in all honesty, when we're thinking about where we need to go, Geminis are like, okay, I'd like to go here, but this would be cool. That would be cool. And that might be, I don't know. I might need it. I might not. I'm not really sure. We're going to keep it in the pile, right? You're going too crazy here. This opens things up and shows you what this is pulling you to do, because what this is pulling you to do is your intuition guiding you. Instead of you choosing, you're being guided into the path or into the direction that is best at this time for your goals. Very important. And Pluto's influence, even though it's retrograde, you've got retrograde and retrograde working together between, Mercury and Pluto there. They're both retrograde. So in a way, this actually makes sense because Geminis are so high vibe and high energy all the time. You kind of need something to bring it down a couple of notches. When you bring it down a couple of notches, you have the ability to focus and you have the time to focus. It's a perfect combination. It absolutely is just a perfect way to kick off the following week and to kick off Gemini season, because it's time. You guys have the power. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that resonates. Good luck. Make it happen. Kick some butt. That's what you're supposed to do. And I hope that resonates with you guys. Cancer, Ceres is influencing Cancer this week. And I'm sorry, what did I say? I said Ceres? Who is that? Well, if you don't know who that is, let me go ahead and tell you. Ceres is actually a smaller planet, dwarf planet, and it actually does exist And it also exists in the zodiac as more of a minor influence, mainly counted when there's not major influences around. But it's really interesting why you bring up Ceres, actually, particularly this week, and that influence, because Ceres is known as the great mother or a maternal figure or famous mothers, like Mother Mary, for example, is a famous mother. And what's interesting about this is that Cancer is associated with the mother as well, as much as the moon is associated as a female, the mother to the father son type of a thing. So you have all this mother stuff all coming in at the same time. And that is what is important. You may feel yourself either, if you are a mother, that motherhood is going to take prominence for you this week. Or if you are not a mother, there is a possibility that you may find yourself in a situation where you may need to support somebody else, or you may need the support or a type of support that is maternal in some way. Or you may find yourself in a situation with another person who needs that sort of maternal support at some point. Either way, cancers are perfect for this problem. They have a natural maternal instinct, male or female. That instinct is there in some shape or form. I have seen it in several different male cancers. It really just depends on the individuals. On the flip side, there is always the possibility of non-maternal female cancers. It just happens that way, right? But you may find yourself, whether you're maternal or not, having to deal with that maternal influence in some way this week. This could also have to do with difficulties or situations that involve your mother, and you either having to deal with problems with your mother, or even possibly the focus shifting on your mother. So a lot of maternal influences going on this week for you cancers. And you know what? It could be way worse than that. So at least it's, kind of chill. You may have some emotional circumstances going on, but nothing that you guys can't handle. You guys take dealing with emotional situations to a level that the rest of us just can't touch anyways, on the positive, by the way. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that resonates. Moving on to Leo, it is all about you this week. And specifically, it is all about you taking your power back. Duh. If any Leo that I know actually owns their power, they own their shit. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to put it out there. They own their shit and they love it. But everybody goes through those times. Some of us go through those times in short periods, and some of us will go through a lifetime of not feeling powerful, of feeling like they have no power, of feeling like they can't change anything in their lives. And it is just stuck this way. And Leos have a very hard time being in this situation, because usually the energy of Leo is very social and very out there and very life of the party. I want to be everywhere and all over at once, kind of a thing. So this week, whether you are feeling powerful or you're not feeling powerful, this week is all about taking that power anyways. It doesn't matter, because the power belongs to you. You're not taking it from anybody else. It's been sitting on this shelf waiting for you to grab it all this time. Plop it up, dust it off, and wear it. Wear it with pride. Wear it like you have been wearing it your whole entire life, and don't feel bad about doing so. And that is how you become the powerful lion that you are supposed to be. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that resonates. Virgo, this week it's important to look to the past to fix the present, if that makes any sense at all. I find that a lot of times intellectual signs get really caught up in the past in their head and they get stuck in there. And a lot of times, well, we all do this, not just intellectual signs. Virgos, on the other hand, they take this to a whole new level, and they can really get lost in all the what ifs and the shoulda, coulda, woulda, done what I, didn't do before kind of a thing. You're using your past in the completely wrong way. You need to flip that around. Your past mistakes, your past experiences, whatever happened to you in the past, all of that is tools for now. Got a problem now? Look to the past. When did you have this problem before? Did you have this problem before? What was the outcome? How did you fix it? All of these things will give you ideas and clues on how to fix the problem that you had that you now currently have. And that's using your past to your advantage. We're not perfect. We're never meant to be perfect. We're never going to be perfect. And we were definitely imperfect before now. And we're trying not to be as imperfect now as we were last time, as we were before. That's what growth is. And that's, of course, something that we need. We always need to move forward and we need to grow. But to be honest with you, it's usually not something we want to deal with. We want to go have fun. We want to go do something that makes us happy. We don't want to wallow in sad stuff. Well, then stop wallowing and start using that to fix your problem. And once you do that, you'll start to move forward and you'll get right back to the fun stuff that much faster. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that resonates. Moving on to Libra. Ideas, ideas, ideas. You have so many ideas, so many things that you want to do. And then sometimes those ideas have ideas of their own, offshoot ideas, so much. Ideas are great, but without the proper follow through, nothing is going to happen. Sometimes you get into this place in your head where you think about all the things that you want to do, but you're starting at the place where you want to end up in terms of thinking about your ideas. There is a lot of space between where you are now and where you want to be. And the space in between where you are now and where you want to be, there's a lot of challenges along the way. Spending too much time thinking about getting to this point isn't really helping you. You're not building your way to where you want to go. Ideas are great. Write them down, put them down, and then create a goal space for yourself so that you're going to, you have your ultimate goal and then you have your goal checkpoints. You need to use your goal checkpoints. You need to make the goal and use your goal checkpoints. I can't stress this enough for you guys this week. For Libra specifically, this is all about keeping you on track, because just trying to keep it all in your head is not working. Eventually, you have too much going on in there and too much going on physically around you that you never quite get to where you need to go. It is time to get this out of your head and start building a path, start building a bridge, start building whatever it is that you need to get from here to here, your ultimate outcome. What are you waiting for? It's not going to magically appear in front of you, and people are not going to come in and give it to you. You just have to start planning it. Get it from here, put it down here, see it here. Think about that. That's what I have for you guys this week. I hope that resonates with you. Scorpio, focus is on your home this week, specifically enjoying your home. When do you actually get to sit down and enjoy your home? Sit down and enjoy the work you've put into it. Enjoy the spaces for the work that you've put into it. just sit down and enjoy. Sometimes the most important thing that we need in life, in a crazy life that's just going 10,000 miles a minute all the time, sometimes the one thing we need is to just sit down and relax. And Scorpios in particular, especially after starting off the week with the full moon, starting off the week with the full moon, that's a lot of crazy energy right there. Specifically, very intense and in some cases aggressive energy. You want to take the time after that to just rest and enjoy your environment. Your environment is your safe space, or at least it should be your safe space, put together exactly the way you want it. I have seen a million different scorpion environments, and every single one of them is different, very, very different. Each Scorpio is very different in their personalization of who they are, and that always reflects on your environment. It's your safe space, it's your comfortable space, and you definitely need to spend some time not just in it, but enjoying being in it, enjoying the silence and the quiet and the peace that you created for yourself. Why not use it every once in a while? If you're one of those Scorpios, on the other hand, that is always inside, hiding from the world because we don't want to deal with anybody else, this is not the time to be in your space. This is the time to branch out of your space. Too much time inside a space becomes very depressing. It creates and causes or exacerbates mental health issues. Or it creates them if they're not there, or you think they're not there, is actually, or you haven't seen them yet, if that makes more sense. So you really want to be careful with that. Fresh air is important and exercise is important. Your whole entire body benefits from being outside, outdoors, and actively doing something, actively pursuing something. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that resonates. Moving on to Sagittarius, the moon comes into your sign Monday and Tuesday, creating a little bit of chaos, a little bit of fun at the same time. Typical Sagittarius, right? Totally. First of all, let's talk about the moon square with Neptune and Mars, both in Pisces, focused very much on finances. And this is really one of those typical cases of arguments over money, because of course family is involved, is the house that the moon is representing at this time. These things happen all the time. You're always going to have differences of opinion about money. Every single family does. The only way that you can really resolve this issue is to sit down and talk about it rather than fighting about it. It's to be open and listen to each other rather than trying to make the other person feel like your opinion is more important than theirs. The moon's influence is always emotional. So when this happens, of course, things get blown out of proportion. You say things that you don't mean, everybody gets upset, and then it just, the problem is never resolved. You have to take control of the problem. You have to take control over how you react to the problem. If you don't, it never changes. It will stay the same forever until it falls apart. That's just life and how that works. The good news is that the moon moves into a sextile with Saturn and also a trine with Venus. And these are very positive influences that can help you through that argument by showing you some creative new ways of communication. And since Mercury is in retrograde, it is all about changing up your communication, right? That's what Mercury's retrograde is generally about. And it will bring up these different situations in order to provide you with an opportunity to find a new solution. And the sextile with Saturn is also important and very helpful. This is your responsibility to you, to your partner, to your family member, to whoever you are having this conversation with. It is a responsibility to both of you when you think about it. There's too much focus on self in arguments. When you're having an argument, it's all about who's right. I'm right, you're right. Okay? It's not about who's right. Take yourself and the ego out of it. You're trying to resolve a problem here, not be the better person. And Saturn's influence really helps come in and smooth that over. Once the moon is out, things get a little bit kosher again, and you won't have to worry so much about those arguments. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that resonates with you. Capricorn, Pluto's influence continues to be in Capricorn. I don't even know why we're going to keep saying that. It's just going to be there forever. No, I'm kidding. It's not going to be there forever, of course, but definitely week by week. I mean, it's getting excessive talking about it. But he's not by himself this week because the moon is also moving into Capricorn this week and joining that grand sextile that Pluto has with Mercury, the Sun, and Venus. This just becomes tighter and tighter and tighter as more and more planets are joining in this. Well, we got 5 out of the 9 planets. That's pretty spectacular. That's a lot of influence. And we're talking big things here. Specifically, as your focus is on your schedule. And Venus's influence in this, in the grand sextile has everything to do with your long-term goals. This is providing you time and an opportunity to really grow some new grow. Wow. This is opportunity. This only happened once in 3 recordings. It's good. This is an opportunity to be able to expand and specifically expand in your career. And you have all of these influences coming together. Mercury is retrograde, Pluto is retrograde, but really, when you think about it, that's actually a little bit on the helpful side because it does slow the process down a little bit and make it so that things can continue to be structured in the way that you like them to be structured. Usually change is like abrupt and it creates this chaotic mess, and you don't want a chaotic mess. You're a Capricorn. Everything has to be put together the way that it's supposed to be put together in a nice, neat little package and running smoothly. This aspect does give you the opportunity for things to run a little bit smoother, even though you're making this little bit of a drastic change. So that's actually a really good thing and really going to be there to help you out in many ways. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that resonates. Aquarius, Saturn moves into a square with the sun, and the moon joins this bit of an unhappy dance on Friday and Saturday when he moves into your sign at the end of the week. Now, this isn't as bad as a square with Uranus, which lasted forever, but it is a bit of a challenge, or it's going to create a bit of a challenge, specifically in your schedule as well, and particularly when it comes to your work schedule. I don't know about you. I'm an Aquarius. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like disruptions in my schedule. I like to look at my schedule on Monday and say, this is exactly what's going to happen. And then chaos, life, got to change it. A client has to reschedule. Somebody needs something and I have to reschedule something. You know, there's a million things that can happen that change my schedule throughout the week. It's been really frustrating, but I also feel like this is a lesson. And I think Saturn really has had a lot to do with it for me personally. I really feel that this is a lesson that flexibility is needed. Aquarius is a fixed sign. Fixed signs don't like change, and yet we are pioneers of change. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to anybody. Do we make sense to anybody? Not really. I don't even think we make sense to ourselves. That's okay. We don't have to. It's not about that. What it is about learning to be a little bit more flexible and being okay with being flexible, being okay with changes, and being able to roll with the punches. If a client cancels, you got room for another client, or you have time to have a little bit of a longer lunch and enjoy yourself. I like to look at it as opportunity, even though sometimes it is still frustrating. The more you can put a positive spin on it, the easier it is for you. And that's really what it boils down to. So that's what I have for you guys. Hope it resonates with you. And finally, Pisces. Focus is still on money this week as Mars and Neptune move into a tight conjunction with each other. But at the beginning of the week, when the moon moves into Sagittarius, moving into a square with Neptune and Mars, we're going to find a little bit of a challenge when it feels like you're trying so hard to grow and expand that income, and all of a sudden it gets sucked up. Something just sucks it up. It always happens. Life always happens. You just get a little bit ahead and there it goes, right? This is going to get frustration. It's going to create tension. Definitely probably going to create frustration and tension within your family. It's really important to maintain your cool as much as you possibly can and mind your reaction to this situation. Emotional reaction never works out. It always ends up in an argument. It always ends up and there's no resolution. It always ends up and everything stays the same. If the situation needs to change, you have to be the pioneer of change. And that's all there is to it. Otherwise, it's not going to change. This does feel like an old financial pain in the butt thing that keeps coming up all the time. If you want to nip it in the bud, the only way you can do that is to communicate properly, not emotionally, but properly, and listen, because that's also a really important communication tool as well. You always have to listen. If you don't listen, you're not learning, and you always should be learning. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that resonates. And that's it for this week's horoscopes. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the horoscopes, donations are definitely welcome at the link below in the description. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great one.